Those Valencia supporters still getting over the shock of a 7-1 defeat when they went to Barcelona just 11 days ago. And everything, Stuart Robson, is stacked in favour of Barcelona tonight. All kinds of political issues behind the scenes as well. Now, can they repeat the success of 2019 when they beat Barcelona in the final of the Copa del Rey? Through the sides in a second. Barcelona looking strong. For Carlos Corberán, the new coach of Valencia, there's a rather experimental side tonight. Maybe a change of shape for Barcelona with Lewandowski in the shadows. He may well come on. And Torres is a different kind of line leader.
He's a player that likes to make runs in behind. His movement off the ball is sometimes better than his actual ability on it, I would say. Ferran Torres. He's a dangerous player.
A tight 1-0 victory over Alaves. Barcelona kickoff, aiming to make it to yet another cup final. They hold the record in the Copa del Rey. They've won it on 31 occasions. They started the last couple of games with a back four. It may be a back five tonight, but at the moment, it's full steam ahead. Here's Fermin Lopez. Yamal threading it through, looking for Torres and Dimitrievski. There's Kubasi. Eric Garcia alongside him, as they were when they beat Valencia 11 days ago. Araujo on the bench. Inigo Martinez is back in consideration tonight as well. There's Balde threading it through, looking for Torres. Torres goes in! First touch, first goal! He's not a bad backup for Lewandowski, is he? No celebration, of course, because he scores against the club that he played for as a young boy. But he's breaking the hearts of the Valencia supporters.
You have to appreciate the pass as well. Inch perfect, he's up front by himself in this situation. Gets in between two of the centre-backs. He times his run, gets in behind Yacobi. What a pass from Balde. And he does well just to let the ball run across his body and use the almost toe pokes in, I think, in the end. Just have a look here. It's actually with the inside of his foot. Yarek was trying to get across there, doesn't get there. Here's the goal again. What a pass that is. See, Yarek was trying to get round on the cover. He could be a little bit slow to get on the turn, understandably so, having been out for so long, but well played. I'm sure the coach was talking to the Valencia players, forget that game, that's gone, we start on level terms here, we're at home, we work hard and close the ball down, we'll make it difficult for them, and that's gone out the window already.
And good to see a smile on the face of Ferran Torres, who has been a bit part player for Barcelona this season. He's only started 2 games since October. He didn't resist moving to Milan last week because they signed João Felix. This is Balde. Full steam ahead from Barcelona. Koundé. Yamal. De Jong. Sharpness of the passing of Frenkie de Jong. This is Fermin Lopez, who was the star of that 7-1 a couple of weeks ago. He's not been getting a look in recently, but he grabbed the opportunity with 2 goals and 2 assists against Valencia. Here's Rafinha. Garcia. Koundé. Yamal. See, there is a crispness to the approach of Barcelona. Occasionally in the Copa del Rey, teams do mix things up, as Valencia have done tonight. But
the problem they have at times, particularly when De Jong's playing, I'm not sure he's used to it. He was going to go back with the runner there and realised at one point he was playing everybody onside and stepped up again.
Sanchez. Vasquez. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Because Vasquez does have a little burst of speed, the 22-year-old on the left wing. It's good to see this historic ground packed to the rafters. It's the oldest ground in Spain, but it's the oldest ground in the top flight of Spanish football. Now they're seeing their team attack for the first time. Barcelona has to make a recovery challenge to keep out Fran Perez.
Well, it was his mistake to start with, Germain. Gets across in, but could he have struck it a little bit earlier, Fran Perez, when the ball was first played to him? In the end, I think he's trying to cut it back into the 6-yard box rather than shoot. There you can see he was never going to beat the goalkeeper.
Lively opening 15 minutes. Torres on the score sheet against his boyhood club. Away goes Rafinha. Rafinha turns. Lots of workspace for him. Passes on to Yamal. Big save, but they can't keep it out. Swept in, not going to count.
Another look at it here, but it's a little bit too easy for Barcelona just to pick off Valencia. It looked tight. Watch the run of Rafinha just here. Now, when the ball's played,
I don't think he was offside.
I don't think he was offside at all.
And that's not offside.
No. And nor was
that's not offside.
No. So I think this could stand.
When the camera captured the assistant referee, he didn't look like he'd made the most confident of decisions.
Good finish, mind you. There it is, goal.
At the double for Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres on his return to the starting lineup.
Yes, good set-up play, Rafinha. Goalkeeper actually makes a good save with his foot. Dimitrievski. Picks out the right pass. This is still a good finish. On the volleys, it comes back to him. Gets above it, hits it with power. No chance for the recovering defenders or the goalkeeper.
And over the years, Barcelona have bossed this fixture. They've won 8 out of the last 10 games in all competitions. In fact, the last time that Valencia beat them was that Copa del Rey final 6 years ago. Yamal whizzes around Hayes Vasquez. Vasquez recovers well though to steal it off the toe of the teenager. Now Fermin wins it back, and it looks as though Sadiq leading the line in the absence of Hugo Duro, the leading scorer this season for Valencia. The away team with 71% possession in the opening 20 minutes.
Should be allowed to run so freely through the middle of them.
Kunde came on the blind side. Here's Ferran Torres. Garek a little uncertain. Better from Diakabi.
Again, that's what Ferran Torres gives you. That bit of pace to run in behind, that willingness to run in behind. Not so long ago, he was doing it brilliantly for the Spanish national team. 3 or 4 years ago now.
It's been a remarkable record for the national team. It's almost a 1-in-2 ratio. It's always managed in La Liga. Here is Ferran Torres looking for a third for Barcelona. It's raining goals again. Fermin was through. He's celebrating. He's not waiting for the VAR.
And it's far too easy for Fermin Lopez. Look, he runs across Vasquez. No talk to Yarek. Yarek doesn't see it. Diakabi is going back, then goes forward. The goalkeeper's in a no man's land. Yes, it's a good run. Yes, it's a good ball. And a very good finish. But Valencia are all over the place here. What a pass from Pedri. Touch is excellent, isn't it, to take it beyond the goalkeeper, Dimitrievski.
It was his 4th goal of the season, and 3 of them have been against Valencia. Can they show any resistance? Sadik just runs into a sea of Barcelona players. Now Caños. Chesney gets his body in the way. What kind of response will Valencia get? And Chesney makes a superb save to keep out Pepello. At least they're showing some fighting spirit here. They must be stunned, Valencia.
Yeah, a couple of good bits of play. Sadik trying to get to the byline. Caños, first we've seen of him, gets the first cross in. Pepello does well to get across the field and get his chest control into his space. And Chesney saw it coming all the way. Good save.
There have been times this season when the Valencia supporters have not entered the stadium until 20 minutes into the match as part of the protest against the owner Peter Lim. Many may be considering making an early dart 3-0 down so early in the evening.
As we looked around the ground, there was quite a few placards being held up. Lim out. We made that disastrous appointment of Gary Neville as the manager. Coach talked about aggression. I haven't really seen it.
Good name. Yamal. Germain to Jules Koundé. Lovely layoff. There goes Rafinha. Rafinha. Excellent recovery challenge from Mosquera. I'll leave it to you. Oh, damn Thomas. He's the official ESPN translator. Torres. This is Yamal. Pedri. Fermin is buzzing. This is being given an opportunity for just his 9th start of the season. He can't slip against Barcelona. Garcia. Pedri. A little step over. Anywhere will do for Yarek. Nervous. Got no distance on it though. Pedri. Lovely layoff. He's looking for an early hat-trick here. And he's getting the early hat-trick. No stopping him. Three goals in less than half an hour from Ferran Torres. You fear the worst now for Valencia.
And I think he deceives the goalkeeper and the defenders here. Here's the pass. Pedri again. Is Rafinha? Oh, that could be a tight one. That could be a tight one. It's a good finish. He goes back between the defenders. And you see, goes between the legs of Diakabi, off the post. It's a really good finish and good set-up play. It's the trailing leg that caught Guillemot. Here's that set-up play. It's a nice finish. Hit it perfectly, but directed it brilliantly. And Rafinha doing the set-up play.
Ferran Torres taking himself to double figures for the season. His 10th goal in all competitions, and he scored in every competition he's played in as well.
Oh, the white hankies are out.
There's the Shark with a bite. They've seen enough, they're heading home. Work tomorrow. School day in Valencia. And Valencia being taught a lesson by Barcelona.
Well, it was tight, but he was onside. Whoops.
President's pass must be very difficult though.
Here are those supporters that have had enough. I think it could turn a bit toxic inside the stadium now.
Easy take for Chesney. Well, credit to the Valencia supporters. They've never turned on the team and the players or the manager. Everything has been aimed at Peter Lim. Germain. Yamal. Pedri. Rafinha. Fanfare, isn't it? Always having a go. The coconut shy.
Again, 3 defenders. On this occasion, nobody comes out to really close the ball down. See, that looked a tight one to me, but in the end, there was no offside. As you can see there. Get runners going in behind. Rafinha has done it brilliantly all season. Torres, Ferran Torres has done it well here. Lewandowski, although he comes short on occasion, still is willing to run in behind. And that's been the difference between this Barcelona side and the one we saw under Xavi last year.
Lopez goes back to rather kindly, whizzes around 2 defenders, flips it to Rafinha. It is backfiring. Yamal. The pass here has been Sadiq is offside, so Fran Perez has to go solo. He's backed up now by Max Aarons.
If Fran Perez had played the ball as soon as he got turned, Eric Garcia made a big decision, he gambled. If the ball had been played at the right time, Sadiq would have been 1v1 against the keeper.
There's an assault there by Fran Perez. The team second from bottom of La Liga. It's the 3rd largest city in Spain. It's a crying shame. They started building a new stadium about a decade and a half ago. There's talk that they may get into there 2027, 2028. They'd be a top flight side. A club that is very much in crisis. This was supposed to be an escape from their problems and their issues, but they're not just a sparring partner. Heavyweights Barcelona are landing punches. Barcelona in recent weeks have been deadly in front of goal. Number 5 against Benfica in the Champions League, 5 against Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup, 7 against Valencia. Actually scored at least 5 goals in 8 matches this season, and the forecast is for many more tonight.
Not quite so good with his back to goal, Ferran Torres. Often see him play on the left-hand side and make those runs from outside to in. When he plays as a centre forward, he's looking to break offside lines, which he did. Did okay there without, I didn't think, playing brilliantly.
Germain. The best of passes, but Rafinha gets the cross in, and continues his run. Yarek again with a header that goes nowhere. This is ragged defending from Valencia. Going right ahead for Barcelona. They got Sevilla at the weekend. One of the Madrid sides is going to drop points as Atletico and Real Madrid are in action in the capital derby on Saturday night. That was a late challenge. The referee has kept a low profile in this game, but he has to be protective. Kubasi was taken out.
Ferran Perez thought he could win the ball here. Goes to ground, and then there's a good bit of skill by Kubasi. Saw him coming, just lifts it over the challenge.
Well, the noise says it all. Desperate times at the Mestalla. Ferran Torres didn't want to celebrate against his old club, but he's had to, because he's got a first half hat-trick. He did a hat-trick within inside 30 minutes of this game. It's not a question of who's going to win the game, it's a question of how many goals are going to be scored. Players have come in from the fringes from Valencia. Have not done a better job than the best 11 who conceded 7 against Barcelona 11 days ago. You remember the words in the second half, Stuart? It was a raucous atmosphere before the game to welcome the Valencia players, to try to give them an edge, but conceding with less than 4 minutes gone.
There you can see Inigo Martinez and Gerard Martin are both coming on. Well, he's had an unexpected season, hasn't he? Inigo Martinez thought he was on his way out. With a couple of injuries, he found himself in the team and he played well right at the start of the season.
Sergi Canos. Sadiq is away. Sadiq has an opportunity. He takes it, and then he waits for the bad news. He suspected as much.
Not offside by as much as I thought, but he was offside.
Yamal to De Jong. Nice little touch, and Torres comes back nicely. Credit to those Valencia supporters who are trying to be just that supportive of the team. These are real fans to stick with the players and the club, as their standards hitting rock bottom. For years they thought that they should be breaking the domination of the league at Barcelona and Real Madrid. This is a club that won the league under Benitez. Arms out of the way there from Diacobi. It's an achievement at the moment for Valencia if they can get the ball over the halfway line. Barca are bossing it. Home supporters, the wood has been broken so much they can't complain. And a decision they would be incensed about in normal circumstances. Torres. Yamal. Drives inside. Ooh. We've not seen the best of him tonight.
We haven't needed to, have we?
No.
And then Torres setting up the play, comes back inside Vázquez, and it comes off the post in the end. Just tries to wrap his foot round it, buys himself that little bit of time. Goalkeeper's beaten. There's the initial bit of skill to go inside of Vázquez, inside of Yarek, opens up the goal for himself and rattles the woodwork.
Yamal now tries to place it inside the post, and easy save for Dimitrievski.
Lovely little pass from Pedri, goes between the legs of Yarek.
Torres got in possession.
He's not had a good game, Fran Perez. Kind of giving him a bit of stick here. Certainly a player lacking in confidence, as you can see.
This is the club, of course, that's played in 2 Champions League finals. The European Cup Winners' Cup back in 1980. UEFA Cup 2004. Rich history, even this competition. They've won it on 7 occasions. The way things are looking, they're dipping down into the 2nd tier of Spanish football and certainly heading out of the Copa tonight. Question of how many. Diacobi stopping Yamal in his tracks.
Well, Ferran Torres plays a lovely little ball round the corner here, but he's just offside. Yamal. Here was the offside again at the other end. Top half of his body was offside, as you can see.
He made changes at half-time, Hansi Flick. No alterations yet for Valencia, but generally managers set the alarm for the 60-minute mark and then shake things up. Garcia. Rafinha comes alive. Germain passes it on through the goalkeeper. It is a nightmare night. Yamal takes advantage as Valencia hits rock bottom.
Once again, Rafinha sets up the play. He had so much time again. He was thinking about shooting with his right foot. Does he chop it back onto his left? Does he go back onto his right? Eventually sets up Yamal, whose shooting hasn't quite been at its very best. And nor was this. Should be an easy save for the goal. It might take a slight deflection. There's Rafinha, thought about shooting with his right. And again. And there's the deflection, which is the goalkeeper wrong-footed, but should still do better. He's got to get a stronger hand to it. He's down on his knees as well. It's not good goalkeeping. And that sums up Valencia tonight.
He's got a difficult base to work from. He wins it back again. Gives it to Rafinha. Yamal. Rafinha. Torres. This is exhibition stuff at the moment from Barcelona. Yamal stands in the way. They don't want to overexert Diacobi. That's confirmation of the changes. Here's Martin. Who gives it away to Sadiq. No, Casado. It's a poor pass, too far ahead of Dani Olmo. Sadiq turns. He's all by himself. There's nobody willing to take it off him. At least he's shown a very good attitude tonight. Sadiq, he may need it with Ugodoro, the leading scorer, out at the moment. There he goes, turning into a bit of a cult hero. He thought he had a penalty a few minutes ago.
Running into the box, Koundé comes out. And again he throws himself down after the challenge has been made. It's a great challenge from Koundé, I have to say.
Eric Garcia, here's Casado. Just tuning in, almost at the three-quarter point. You can see it's an almost deserted stadium. And it was a capacity crowd when they kicked off tonight. But losing faith as Valencia heading to another heavy victory. Just a question of how many for Barcelona, joining Atletico Madrid and Real in the semi-final draw. the first time since 2014 that Spain's big three clubs have advanced to the Copa semi-finals. There's Koundé, De Jong. Coming turns into trouble.
Hansi Flicker's got a couple of decisions to make as he moves forward. Frankie de Jong now looks fully fit.
There's Torres to Yarek.
In my view, I think he's a much better player in that central midfield area than Casado.
Well, they tease them again. The flag is down. Lopez, can he get a consolation? Passes it on. Not quite. Koundé. And how crazy is that? He was standing in an offside position there.
But they've given the offside for the first pass, so they go all the way back to just over the halfway line.
Yes, it was.
Again, just. Again, we're talking a matter of inches. I think Barcelona will be hoping for a draw in that game. So both teams drop points. And what a game that should be. Great atmosphere, two contrasting styles.
A big one for Barca as well. They head to Sevilla. There's a hostile atmosphere in Andalusia when Barcelona are in town. De Jong. Look at this, they're showing off now. Olmo wants to make the right pass. Valencia getting bodies in the way. Inigo Martinez back to Chesney. So a chance for them to play catch-up on Real and Atletico after that dip in form in November and December. It's been an excellent start to 2025, heading for their 8th victory in 10 games. Undefeated in the new year. Here goes Koundé. Layoff. Olmo, big save. Danger hasn't got away yet though. Dimitrievski does well. Yamal cuts it across the face of goal and Torres just launches any part of the anatomy at the ball.
In amongst all that, what a touch you'll see from that man there, Yamal. Watch when the ball's played into him. Look at this for a touch into the path of Olmo. Goalkeeper does well, he's trying to lift it over him. But that was absolutely brilliant from the youngster. There was a claim of a handball. This is the pass I was talking about. Dani Olmo decides to try and lift it over the goal catch.
Ball is given away. There have been a few defensive lapses by Barcelona, which Hansi Flick will not be happy about.
Casado has given the ball away a couple of times since he's been on, and the other player.
In some ways, it's the Barca B team at the moment. Brilliant ball from Ferran Torres. Yamal. Fort gets involved. Dani Gomez. It's been a while since we had a Barcelona goal. De Jong. Has already signed a contract with Liverpool, believed to be worth around 33 million euros to Valencia. Much needed money for a club that is brassic.
Been a slightly non-event, hasn't it, in the second half, as you probably expected it would be. Barcelona have done all the hard work. Goal difference doesn't mean anything in a cup competition. It's been damage limitation, really, for Valencia.
Olmo. Fermin Lopez to Martin. Nico Martinez. Fermin. Olmo. De Jong. Yamal on his favoured left foot. And this time the deflection helps Valencia rather than aids the Barcelona wonder kid.
Another decent pass from De Jong, just plays it in between players, threatens to shoot with his right, back on his left. And the goalkeeper, I think, makes the save with his leg in the end.
Away is the call of the keeper, Garcia. All arms and legs as he attempts to get on the end of it.
A decent ball played in, but you can see just... But here's the chance again for Yamal. Yeah, I think that takes a slight deflection, which just unsettles the goalkeeper, because they have the balance right at the moment. But in terms of entertainment and quality of players on the ball and their movement, Barcelona takes some beating.
Germain would like to add his second goal. Just rushed his shot a little bit, but again, he's impressed on his return to the starting 11 tonight.
He played in central midfield to start with, or an advanced midfield position. He's come out to the left since Rafinha's gone off.
Well, Valencia are out of the Copa del Rey. Another humiliating night at the Mestalla. But Barcelona yet again have been brilliant. Hansi Flick said the other week that it was the perfect match when they scored 7 against Valencia. He mixed his team up tonight, certainly worked. A hat-trick for Fermin Torres. Oh, hat-trick for, shall I say, for Torres. One for Fermin as well. And Yamal stroking one in as well. Really a walk in the park for Hansi Flick. Too easy, Stuart, wasn't it?
It certainly was. If you want to dominate a game, you score an early goal and then keep possession. But Barcelona's forward play in that first half was excellent. And you have to say, Valencia defensively were all over the place. They didn't read danger, they didn't communicate with each other, and that's why they looked so poor in that first half. Brilliant from Barcelona.